An absolute must-see.
It's the blueprint. Who could possibly have it better than us? Nobody. This your man, Michigan Man Ray, and I told y'all that Michigan was going to beat these boys. But I didn't know we was going to dominate Ohio like we did. All them Suckeye fans, where y'all at now? Put your boy on the message boards. Put this Blueprint show on the message boards because I got a lot to say. Hey, long time coming. Now things are back to normal. This the Michigan I knew growing up, dominating Ohio State. I mean, they punked y'all, Ohio. Punked y'all in the trenches, bro. Y'all knew, everybody in the world knew they was running the ball. Nothing y'all could do to stop it. Kudos to, my man Haskins, boy. You earned a lot of NFL money today, baby. 5 touchdowns. The first running back in the series to go 5 touchdowns. And Aiden Hutchinson, boy, I hope the Lions get you. You a straight dog. You a dog. That D-line, Josh, all of y'all, man. David, man, all of y'all. David, you earned a lot of money too, man. They can't stop you, baby. I need me a 55 jersey, baby. Michigan, dog. What y'all got to say now? Hey, come on, Damani. You know what we talked about. You know what it is, Will, Damani. What's up, fellas? Told y'all this the best school in the world. Y'all experienced it firsthand, man. Michigan, boy. Woo, it feels so good, man. I've been waiting to do a blueprint after we pop these boys, man. Finally. Come on, give me that in the chat. Finally, baby. It's what it is. Big Ten East champions. We going to the Big Ten championship next week, baby. We got to win that. Going to the college football playoffs, all under Harbaugh. Many people, fire Harbaugh and all. They ain't saying that today. They ain't saying that no more. Ohio State was shook. From the jump, I knew we was punking them, bro. Shout out to Ben getting them boys strong, man. Boys like, oh, man, Michigan strong, man. All of my Ohio friends and trolls. What's up? I got to get Randy Wade on the show. Finally, bro. Finally, we popped them boys. It is what it is, man. Hey, I got some special guests about to join me, man. I got my man Josh coming. He write for the Grand Rapids newspaper, and my boy Don Williams who rock with me in the Blueprint. Man, let's bring these guys on, and I'll be back, baby. Finally, let's get it. Welcome to the Blueprint. Michigan finally dominates Ohio State. This your man, Michigan Man Ray, and I'm back. And I told you, as promised, I got Josh Champlin and Don Williams joining me. What's going on, fellas? Let's talk about this.
I'm ready.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Come on, Josh. Let's get right to it. What you think? Did you expect this? I mean, how you feeling? I mean, talk to us.
No, I told you several times I didn't expect Michigan to even keep this game close. You were right. I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong. So.
Wow. Great feeling. Great feeling. What about you, Don? Did you see this coming?
I was telling my daughter, this one time it's good to eat crow, man. I'm not going to lie, big fan, but I didn't think, after last week and just watching the last couple weeks of Ohio State, I thought, Michigan could hang, but I didn't think they could pull it off. But they did it. They dominated today, man. They did their thing.
Yeah. They dominated. I mean, kudos to Coach Harbaugh. I mean, he really had these guys locked in, and that game plan, man. To me, they just really punked Ohio State. I mean, everybody in the world knew they was going to run that ball, and they ran that ball, and they ran it with authority. I mean, Haskins, Blake, they went crazy. It was very impressive. I'm still shocked. I'm excited. Let's get into a little of the stats. What did you see out there, Josh?
Well, Ohio State was able to run the ball okay, but they were able to get a lot through the air. Stroud was 34, 49, 394 yards with 2 touchdowns. McNamara, he was serviceable, 13 and 19, 159. He had that one bad interception, but he didn't make any bad plays other than that. He put a couple of nice throws on the money, so that was nice. But the story of the game is Michigan being able to run the ball. They were getting everything they wanted the whole game long, and they'd throw the ball when they had to, and You know, McNamara had a couple nice throws. He had a couple drops that could have been nice catches, but you know, he did enough to win. He didn't lose them the game, but Michigan running the ball and their defense, they got enough pressure on Stroud. I mean, Hutchinson had 3 sacks. I mean, you got people talking about him for Heisman. Like, I don't know if he's that level, but he's a top 10 pick, no doubt. But it was the rushing game. It was the run game that got Michigan the win.
Yeah. Now, what was Haskins' final stats? I didn't even grab him. I was so excited. I say, let's get on. Let's do this post game.
He had 28 carries, 169 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
That's
big game. Big game.
Yeah.
They had a couple of MVPs for me. I mean, Haskins was big. Harbaugh and the coaching staff. That game plan, they mixed it up well. You know, they mixed in the run with the pass. The defense made plays when they had to. I mean, Ajabu and 97. I can't think of his name right now. So
Hutchinson.
They dominated. I mean, it was a total win. I mean, coaching staff, players, they did their thing today. Hey, Harbaugh, he got a couple monkeys off his back with this win. I mean, you got to give him props. Hey.
Yeah.
They dominated. I mean, I'm just, man, it was his vision, I believe, when he first came, you know, and it took him, 7 years to really bring it to fruition. You know, he did a lot of that at Stanford as well. You know, you gotta pound that rock. You gotta run that ball. And that's what they did, man. And kudos to Haskins, man. And they got pressure when they needed to. You know, like you said, Stroud, man, 394 yards. I mean, any other day, that's gonna beat you. So,
yeah,
you know,
he's an impressive freshman. I mean, it was a big win. And I tell you what, Michigan, man, I want to see, you know, after the night and the next week, the playoff seedings. It's interesting, you know, some big shakeups could happen in the top 4 this next week or so with these games coming up.
Yeah, yes. So Josh, where do you see Michigan going from here? We got the monkey off our back. We beat Ohio State. Big Ten championship next week. You know, who would you like to see? What are your thoughts? Can they get in this playoffs?
I think they can definitely make the playoff. I think they should make the playoff no matter who they play. Like I said, I'd rather see them play Wisconsin just because, you know, you've seen what they are. But Iowa has got a great run defense, great defense overall. So I would rather play Wisconsin. But I think Michigan can definitely make the playoff. You know, a team like Cincinnati, Michigan plays them in the playoff. I think they'd probably get by them.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to be pessimistic here, man, but I think Georgia and Alabama are just on another level. But I thought that about Ohio State too, and I was wrong about that. So, you know, I think moving forward, I think that today's win over the Buckeyes, that's a program changer, right?
I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's a program changer. I mean, even for the recruiting, I mean, it just does so much. Even for the recruits that were visiting today, I can see them getting some strong commitments out of that. Look like we got Bam Richards trying to join in. Let's bring Bam in. Hold on. Y'all remember Bam Richards? So yeah, what do you think, Don, about, you know, Michigan's next move?
I mean, like I said, this is big, man. This big on so many levels. Recruiting, I mean, like I said, the playoffs, man. Playoffs is right there. You know, they're the East champions of the East. Wow. This thing, man, if they would have won that Michigan State game, they could be undefeated right now. I mean, they're that close to being undefeated, you know.
Wow. Come on in, Coach Bam. We got Bam Richards. He was over. Turn that camera on and join this party here. You know I want to hear your thoughts. Can't see you, Bam. There we go. Yeah. I got my boy Bam in the building. Got Josh on and Don, Coach Bam right there. So Bam, finally, you've been in Michigan on the staff and all of that. What did you see today? Talk to the people, man.
I saw execution. I saw the kids. Hey, they had that drive. I saw determination, and so that made a big difference in it. Even though the previous teams had it, but I think they was a little bit more hungry today. So I was real impressed with it.
Yes. So what are your thoughts? We've been talking about they finally got that monkey off their back with Ohio. What do you think about next weekend? What you thinking?
I think they gonna win by 21.
Let's go. Let's go.
They gonna win by 21 and be in the college playoff.
Wow. Okay, Bam. I like it. Now, Coach, I gotta ask you, catch you up. Were you shocked by today's performance?
I wasn't shocked because I have seen the play all year. I've been watching every game, and somehow Michigan State just been having their number, but plus also Michigan State had home field advantage too. So, but if it was on a mutual field, I think Michigan would have beat them.
Yes. Now let me ask you, Josh. If that game was played in Ohio, do you think we had the same result today?
That's a hypothetical. I would say probably not, but that crowd was huge for Michigan today.
Right.
I've never seen it like that. It was rocking.
It was rocking,
man. No, the play calling, that you guys all know, that's been a major complaint of fans, media since the beginning of Harbaugh's tenure. And today it was just kitchen sink. I think I heard one of the TV guys saying that's what it was. You saw everything they had today. And McCarthy came in, they ran that little reverse with Henning. They got their first touchdown on, and they were just able to execute today, especially in the run game, but they mixed in some nice passes too.
Yeah, it was just a flawless game plan. What you think, Don?
Well, we saw the method to that. I remember sitting a couple games ago, we were talking about every time they put McCarthy in, they ran that same play. It was one play. It wasn't a touchdown, but they ran that play and he threw it for a big first down. Yep. I mean, to me today, the coaching was the MVP. Like you said, they mixed it up well. I mean, they ran the ball. They just didn't run the ball. They time passing. Everybody contributed. I mean, the defense made timely sacks. It was just excellent game plan today. I mean, Harbaugh's, people that wanted to talk bad about him, you got to give them all this kudos today. I mean, it was an excellent game plan today.
It was flawless. Coach Bam, you've been up there working in recruiting and all of that good stuff. How big is this win for recruiting for Michigan?
Hold on, let me get my
get your Jordan gear on.
Let me get my MJ gear on around him first. But it's gonna be big. They'll have a great recruiting class this year coming up. I think that's one of the things that was lacking. By them getting that monkey off their back, I think that that's gonna help the recruiting process as well. And I think it's, the sky's the limit now. Just got to keep that intensity. But look, all along, I was looking at Michigan. Ohio State couldn't stop the run. And all that hasn't been a defense. Ohio State defense hasn't been like that in a long time. And so I think Michigan was outpowered them, outnumbered them, and like I said, the run game was the key to the success today.
Yeah, they punked them, man. So hopefully we can start our own little streak, ending that streak. That was huge, man. They dominated the series the last 20 years, and it's a new
the first of many to come. I don't want to go back to next year we losing again. Let's string some wins together. Let's get this recruiting class in here. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
So, like I say, at the end of the day, there's always a big go blue. They gonna do what they gotta do, and guess what? The recruiting process.
Look like we lost you, man, on the connection tip. Let's go back to Josh, man. Talk to us, Josh, man. It's like you said, elaborate a little bit more on the program change and win.
Well, right. Well, we're just talking about recruiting, and Michigan's always recruited well. They're going to recruit well. It's a great university. They've got great facilities. They pay top dollar for everything, coaching staff included. I mean, you got the little Jordan thing on the hats, and the kids love that. But, Ohio State's just been just a little bit better recruiting. Like Michigan will get 2 or 3 5-stars per class, maybe, and Ohio State's getting them at pretty much every position. But, I mean, today was proof, those recruiting stars ain't everything, but, it's nice. It's nice to have like a JJ McCarthy to know that is your backup at quarterback and can come into a game and function and make any throw you want him to. So I think that's been the difference, but didn't matter today.
No, I didn't. Bam, I think we got you back. You want to finish that thought?
Well, I always told you. I said I'll take a 3-star any day over a 5-star, over a 4-star, because that 3-star is home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take a 3-star. It depends on what area he's coming from, though. If he's down south, I'll take a 3-star down south than taking a 3-star upstate.
Yeah. When I was down there, man, I found the man himself who's training all them D linemen at Bama, best trainer in the country, Kevin. Went in his office, man, when we was talking. I'm looking on the wall like, my goodness, he got a factory, dude. Every dominant defensive lineman that came through Bama has came through Kevin. You know Kevin, right? Down there in Birmingham, trainer.
Yeah.
That guy, great guy, man. So, I got to call him after this because, they strong on Damani right now. Damani was here for that win. And when I interviewed Damani, go ahead, Josh.
Did you see his tweet? I think it was him. Check out Twitter. He said something. I'll look for it. Go ahead.
He might commit after this, man. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, this like I said, this was a big.
Yeah, because all the recruits I talked to, they want to beat Ohio, man. They don't want to go nowhere losing. Now you got that monkey off your back, Don. Come on, talk to us.
Well, it's a big sense of urgency today, too. I seen that today. I noticed it was a real big sense of urgency. I mean, they were out there talking, and that was good to see. They had me hype on here. I was ready to suit up. But yeah, it was a big sense of urgency today, and that's gonna go a long way for recruit. They scored victories on so many levels today. That's big.
Now I'm gonna ask each one of you guys this. Can Michigan finish the job, win the national championship? What do you think?
Who's going first on this one?
Let's go, Coach Bam. Come on.
I think that they'll compete well, but I think if they meet up with Georgia's gonna stop that run game because they don't have to blitz, they don't have to do any of that, and they're gonna have to come up with a lot of different tricks, but tricks will get you beat too, So I think they'll compete. But at the end of the day, they go stop their bread and butter, that run game. Haskell won't pistol drop pretty much against Bama. Against Georgia.
Yeah.
Come on, Don.
So I agree with Coach, but I think it's about, like I said, this next couple of weeks, things are going to play out. If Alabama beats Georgia, and depending on the season, who we play, depending on where we end up in the playoffs and who we play that first game, if we get there, they can definitely get to the game. But like you said, I think if they play either Alabama or Georgia. I think it'd be kind of tough. They can compete, but I think that's a whole different level. But if it's somebody like Cincinnati or wherever that other team would be, I think we got a real good chance against them. I just think it depends on, Alabama and Georgia. They play each other next week. So depending on who wins that game, they beat up on each other. And if Georgia wins, it'll be interesting to see. With Alabama with 2 losses, would they even stay in the top? Top 4? So I think a lot still has to play out.
Okay, come on, Josh, talk to us.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Let's say Georgia beats Alabama. Alabama has 2 losses. Somebody slip in ahead of Alabama. Cincinnati, I think Michigan could beat, and those games are played on neutral sites, so I could see Michigan doing that. Georgia, though, Michigan was beat this team this year. They were built to beat Ohio State, and that's what they did. Now, Ohio State's been pretty much competitive for the most part when they've made the playoffs. So, I think they could be competitive, but I don't see them beating Georgia. And I hope I'm wrong again.
Yeah, come on. I can see them dominating, man. That run game, man. Like you said, if Georgia could stop the run, then that's a different thing. But I like Michigan chances, man. Let's see how this thing play out. We beat Ohio, man. That's huge. So we'll see where it go. And
Michigan man Ray, don't say, hey, we need to say let's see if Georgia can stop them. That's what they built on. Yeah,
Georgia.
They built on stopping the run.
Yeah, that's true.
They got an NFL defense.
So it looked like it's Georgia year, but hey, just get there, man. Let's get there and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's
Football is football. Guess what? Anybody can be beat on any given Saturday.
That's right. That's why I say let's get there and see what happens, man.
But Georgia's offense is suspect too.
And we got a good defense. So I really like that matchup, man. Aiden,
we got them two DNs. Them two DNs are NFL DNs. So we play Georgia. They offense, like you said, offense is not that great. We get some pressure on them. Get a few breaks our way. Hey.
Yeah, that's huge.
But he talked about the 2 DNs, but he ain't look at number 99 in that middle either.
Oh yeah.
That's an NFL. That's an NFL 3 technique.
Yeah, they got some beasts, man.
They got some dogs.
Their defense is NFL, right? I mean, them guys are beasts. That's a whole different breed down south, like you said.
Can Bama beat Georgia? Josh.
Yes, they can. They're Alabama. They can play with anybody any given day. They've been vulnerable, but they've only got 1 loss this year. I could see them doing it, but I still think Georgia's a better team.
What about you, Don? Can Bama beat Georgia?
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I think Alabama is Alabama. They've been Alabama for years. Georgia has been pretty good, this last few years, but I think they could beat Alabama. If anybody could beat Georgia, it would be Alabama. Yeah.
What about you, Bam? You down there with it? You in the trenches? You see it every day? You live it? You know all the top talent and all the players? Can Bama beat Georgia next week?
Bama has the X factor.
Yeah.
They have number 31, Anderson. That's a grown man, and I don't see anybody on Georgia's team being able to stop him offensive wise. They're gonna have to chip him. They're gonna have to sit there and slide him, and do stuff like that in order to slow him down. But also, Alabama runs a lot of twists with him. So, if they're not on their P's and Q's, you got to find out what number 31 said at all times in order for them to have a chance.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Josh, I want to come back to you. Do you believe Cincinnati deserves to be in the Final Four?
You can put me on the spot. I
Yeah.
mean, they've won all their games so far. I mean, they beat Notre Dame in South Bend, which, whatever, that's no big deal. But I mean, these one-loss teams like San Diego State, they're like, well, hey, what about us? We've only lost one game. It's the same thing every year with the playoffs. Cincinnati's won all their games. I mean, you can't take that away from them, and it has to mean something. I realize they're not the Big Ten, SEC, or ACC, or you win all your games, you expect to go to the playoffs, especially when you play decent talent. So, I would say yes. Subjectively, over Michigan with one loss, no. Over a Alabama with one loss, no. But it is the
What
way
about
things
Alabama
stand.
with 2 losses?
Absolutely not. You'd have to give Cincy the nod, even though Alabama would blow Cincinnati out. I mean, that's the system we have.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. I hope we expand, but that's the system we have.
Give me your 4 teams for the playoffs, Josh.
Georgia, Alabama. Right now, I'd have to move Cincinnati up to 3 and Michigan to 4. And I don't want to see that 1-4 Georgia-Michigan matchup in the playoffs. But that's what I'd do.
Yeah.
But that's as of right now.
Yeah, okay. Don, give me your let me ask you the same question. Do you think Cincinnati deserves to be in the Final Four?
I think so. I kind of agree with Josh. I think who's behind Cincinnati? Is it Notre Dame?
Hang on.
Let's see
I think it was Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, you said?
Notre Dame at 5, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think so. I think they beat Notre Dame. They won all their games. You gotta put them at 4. And if I had to pick 4, I might do the same 4, but I might switch the last 2. I might put Michigan at 3 and Cincinnati at 4.
Okay. What about you, Coach Bam?
Well, if Alabama loses, Alabama's gonna be out.
So I believe
All
Alabama
right.
will win that game.
So, but if Alabama wins, Georgia's gonna be in too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like Notre Dame because every time they have been in the playoffs, they've been getting their butts blown out. So I don't think that'll be a real good competition. I think technically, me personally, if I had to pick between Cincinnati, Notre Dame, you got teams in the SEC right now that can beat those guys. Like when you got Ole Miss right now, their defense ain't even that strong, but Lane can doggone score points at any given time. And I think, their defense is getting better. And so I really think, Ole Miss can beat those 2 teams personally. But, with being undefeated, you got to give credit what credit is due.
Yeah. Let me ask a question, Sean. Sorry. So what if I'm gonna ask all you guys. So what if Alabama beats Georgia? Who's number 1? Where does Georgia move? Who moves to number 1? Like I said today, everything as it is. Alabama beats Georgia. Who's the number 1 team? Cincinnati can't. You're not gonna move them to number 1.
No.
Who's number 1?
They go boost Bama back up to 1.
Yeah, Bama be 1.
Yeah, I can
Bama be 1. Bama be 1. Georgia be 2.
Yeah.
Michigan 3.
So Michigan. Well, if Cincinnati's 3 already, I think they probably keep Cincinnati. They'll keep Cincinnati 3. But also, the X factor is, you got, even though I told you my prediction on the win next week for the Big Ten, but they still got to play that game too.
Yeah.
So if they have a convincing win, easily, if they have a
Your camera went off for some reason. Oh, there you go.
I'm good. If they have a convincing win, they possibly can bump up to number 3 and Cincinnati and move down to number 4. But either way it goes, they go see 2 of the most powerhouse teams in the country. Either way it goes. So, if they 3 or 4, if Bama beats Georgia, Georgia's gonna be number 2, Alabama's gonna be number 1. So they gonna have to deal with that anyway.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty much worked itself out though. It's been playing out where, it's on the field. It's been pretty, to me anyway, it's been pretty non-controversial. Besides Cincinnati, who hasn't really played anybody, but it's been playing out on the field, and it should play out on the field. Alabama plays Georgia next week, so that's gonna tell a lot also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As long as Michigan keep winning, Michigan win, they in. Yeah,
Michigan win, they in, and right now, like I said, you gonna have you got to deal with the SEC championship, the Big Ten championship. So those two things right there. If Georgia wins, Alabama's out. I think.
Yeah.
If Bama wins, Georgia and Alabama's in. So now you still gonna have two of the big programs in the in the playoff. But yeah. I mean, like I said, half of these teams around here, like some of the Ole Miss, the Texas A&M, I think they'll beat the mess out of Cincinnati. That's just me personally. Cause Texas A&M got a great tight end that's gonna be a first round draft pick. He does real good. He beat Alabama, this year. But Cincinnati haven't played those type of players, and that stuff will show up and it'll tell you that your level of competition is totally different.
Yeah.
And like I say, and plus, great win for the Wolverines. But like I say, Ohio's still young too.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of talent. They got a lot of talent coming back. Their whole team pretty much gonna be coming back.
Yeah. No, I was gonna get to that too, because after this win, what does that look like next year? I know Ohio is bringing majority of their team back. I don't even think they had a senior. Chris Oakland, the receiver, right? He the only guy leaving.
Number 2.
Yeah,
I think he was junior, right?
But he probably coming out NFL money. He gonna come out. But the rest of those guys are young. Where does Michigan go from here? Can they build on this? Is what I want to know.
I think so. I like that running back they got from what's the young running back that he just started getting the playing time from Bloomfield.
Donovan Edwards.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a big time player. He's gonna, next year he'll get a lot of time because Haskins will be going after next year, right?
No, Haskins is a senior this year.
Yeah, so he'll be gone. So Edwards will play a big role. One thing I did want to say, 2 things real quick. Michigan got to finish. They can't lose next week. You can't come up with this big win and then go lose next week to whoever you play. You got to finish this off. Go get the win. You control your destiny. And I think Georgia's in a good spot, even if they lose. Like you said, Coach, they in if they win or lose. They're in a pretty good spot also.
So, the question mark is Alabama. If they lose, they out. If they win, they in.
Yeah.
Because also the playoff deals with it's a money thing too. Of course, Michigan go bring just as many fans as anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big that's the money. But do Cincinnati travel just as much as those 3 teams do?
No.
Yes, it's about to get interesting, man. I just think Bama is gonna win next week. I mean, Saban, he does a great job preparing them guys in those battles, and he fight for championships every year, so he want to be in it. we know a loss. That's their championship next week. So I think they're going to show up, man. I think they're going to show up. Bryce is playing lights out, and I think it's going to be a good game.
But it's the second quarter right now, and it's 0-0, Auburn and Alabama. But also it's it's rivalry too. And Alabama don't even have. Auburn don't even have their starting quarterback. They playing with a backup quarterback.
Oh man, that's
so like I said, they had some 3 and outs. But think about this right here. Let's look at this right here. All right, Ohio State got a lot of receivers, right?
Right.
Number 1 from Alabama transferred to Alabama to play, and he's getting all these touches now. So that lets you know how deep the receiving core is at Ohio State too as well.
We just
so you got you look at that, and those guys will all be back. The quarterback's gonna be more seasoned. So you got to look at all those things and put them into perspective too at the same time.
Yeah.
But like I say, the main thing is, they got to build. They go out there and help. Do a better job with their defense, because their defense was suspect to me all year. And by them doing what they did, running the ball down the field like that on Ohio State, that lets me know, you got to. Hey, if you don't win the point of attack, you gonna be in trouble anyway.
Yes.
So, but Michigan did a great job, executing the game plan. They did a great job, being physical with Ohio State, and that was the difference in the game. So, and they finally put it all together and got the W, and that's all we want. So it's always go blue.
Yep. And I think the timing was right too, man. It was just the right timing. Like you said, all Ohio State, little young there, all the hype, number 2 in the country, and they just dominated them, man. They stuck to their game plan. Like Harbaugh said, we're going to win or die trying, and they really did that. How do they replace Aiden Hutchinson and David and Ross? That's the key going forward. How do you replace those guys? Because hey, this team going down in history, they was the team that snapped the streak against Ohio. Josh, can you see anybody that's coming up that can kind of offset that a little bit?
The middle of Michigan's line wasn't real great this year. They did play well today. Mozzie Smith and Donovan Jeter had a big stop on a 3rd down run or 2nd down run, forced 3 and out. You know what you get with Hutchinson and Ojabo. Ojabo didn't even play organized football until like his junior or senior year of high school, and look how fast he came along. So, that's the coaching staff identifying this talent and saying, hey, we'll offer this 2.5, 3-star and coach them up. And you get guys like Kwity Paye, you get guys like Ojabo, but it could be anybody. Because before this year, did you even know who Ojabo was? I think I saw him a few times last year, maybe, but he's a top 10 pick now. But it's just recruiting and coaching up. So anyone I can identify, give me a minute and I'll look at my roster. But
okay,
not right off the top of my head, no. But as far as the linebackers go, I think they've got plenty of talent at linebacker. From the secondary, I think all they lose is Brad Hawkins, who's been solid for 4 years. Cornerbacks are young. Dax Hill, I think he's draft eligible this year, and I hate to see him go because he's had a great year. But
I think he's gonna be out of here.
I think he's gone too.
If he's Ohio.
If he's projected as a 1st rounder, he's gone. On offense, pretty much all you lose is Haskins, and you don't know what Ronnie Bell's going to do, if he's going to want to come back and be able to come back from injury. But, you have Corum's got time left. All these receivers have time left. So the offensive line was actually pretty young this year too. So I think the offense will be fine. But if anything takes a step back next year, it'll be the defensive line, just like you said.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I got to say, hey, when y'all was talking about, Kwity Paye and Hutchinson, I said, we were recruiting them cats when I was up there, so, hey, Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna send you a picture, Michigan man Ray. You know, 'cause I remember one time it was like I had with Hutchinson when he was in 11th grade, 12th grade, 11th grade or whatever. He came up there to a game and only thing I just went straight to him and I just gave him a big old hug and everything. And then so I sent it to his mom. I sent it to his mom and his dad. And I like, hey, I knew he was gonna be a Michigan man around there. So, and then Quiddipay, Don Brown was high on him. And we made sure we got Quiddipay. He had that motor, was able to do
Yep.
what he needed to do. But you find those guys like that, you got to find, you got to find those Quiddipay, those diamonds in the rough, and look what he did. He's the
Yep.
first round draft pick. So,
Yep.
you keep finding diamonds in the rough. That's you go win a lot of football games like that. People that are hungry.
Yeah, I want to talk about the job Mike McDonald did. Big difference from Don Brown. I want you to elaborate on that, Coach Bam.
Well, coach, coach. Basically, you all of your coordinators, you always got these big games. So guess what? They might not be telling the position coaches and all that stuff, but they already looking ahead and trying to figure out what they can do to stop them, and then they're looking at all the previous games, and you finding all these different tendencies and all that stuff. But and especially by him being in the NFL, coming from the NFL, looking at all that stuff to play against, Kansas City and all that stuff, you have to be on your P's and Q's and stuff. So, I think, the game was really slow to him, especially, watching Ohio State. So I think he was able to put, his pieces together like he needed to, and then they wasn't really able to do a lot of things that they wanted to do because he pretty much had a beat on the whole game.
Yeah. Come on, Josh. What you think about the job McDonald did?
Well, it's better than Don Brown did, and I like Don Brown, but the last I lost count of how many years when it was like against Ohio State, crossing route, and he'd have his linebackers try and run man coverage across the field. I've seen them run into each other before. That might work against teams that you have more talent than, but when you try that against Ohio State, that's what happens. But it was a change that needed to be made. You got to adapt or die, especially in football. College football is an offensive sport. You can't completely stop the opposition. You just have to try and contain them somewhat. So,
and them and slow them down.
Right.
Don, what you think?
Well, especially today, think about it, fellas. Ohio State is a big play, explosive team.
Yep.
I don't think they had a big play today.
No.
Not really.
That's major. That's what I was afraid of. We all knew about Ohio State's red zone struggles, but they didn't have a big play today, and that was key for Michigan. I think that was big for Michigan. Yeah. They held those receivers pretty much in check today.
And getting them off the field on third down.
That was
huge. So that was huge. Even though they converted to fourth down, plays or whatever, but like coming out, the second half, it was 3 and out. They stopped and they went down there and punched it in and scored. So that was real big. So they was able to keep that momentum up like they need to keep it up.
Yeah, that was huge, man. Come on, Josh, talk to us.
The Michigan secondary played very well today. I mean, they didn't give up any huge plays. They're giving up the underneath stuff, but you could tell that's what the game plan was, just extend the game basically. And Vincent Gray had a good game.
I was about to call his name. He was locked in today.
Yeah, he was, and he did not step back at all. He was in the middle of everything.
Moten played lights out too today.
I wish he got that interception. That would have been nice. But I'm nitpicking now though. But Moten played well. DJ Turner played really well. Rod Moore, freshman, made a couple big tackles in space, which surprised me. But he's come on really strong in the second half of the year. So he's one of them guys, watch out next year and the year after, because he's going to be very solid. So, but it was, the secondary played well. I realized they gave up, almost 400 yards, but they could have given up a lot more, and they didn't. So
yeah, I mean, I'm still shocked that kid almost passed for what? He passed for 394. Man,
394, yeah.
That's
He
crazy.
performed really well today. I mean, I was impressed. Michigan had pressure. Actually, Ohio State, they had a lot of offensive penalties, which is it was rare for me to see that many penalties on offense that they had today. But that was, that crowd, I think, played a big part of it. And I think the defensive ends rushing, they got a lot of pressure. He handled it well, but I think that kind of threw off their game plan a little bit. And then they didn't get any big plays. I mean, that's like I said, that's big. Every game you watch it, then they get at least a couple big plays in the game. They didn't have one today.
No.
Yeah, but the difference maker in the game would have been, the game would have completely been over really easy. You remember when they on fourth down, they threw the swing pass to the running back, and Hudson Ballard, if he would have, the game would have completely been over for real if that would have happened. So, but but at the end of the day, also Ohio State didn't have the running game like they used to have either.
Yeah, that's true. We had it this time. We balled out on them. So yeah, fellas, I'm gonna do this again after the let's get back together after the Big Ten championship. Maybe we can do a preview once we find out based on your availability, who they playing. And then right now, Minnesota winning by 3 over Wisconsin. I got that game on. But let's close out with final thoughts. Go ahead, Josh. Give us your final thoughts.
Great win today, man. It's been a long time coming, 10 years since Michigan beat the Buckeyes. When I was a kid, Michigan dominated Ohio State, and we expected to win. But, things change, coaching staffs change. I get it, but today was really cool seeing the stadium, just a good day to snap the streak, and I bet the students are having fun in Ann Arbor tonight. So,
yeah, that place is rocking.
Yep.
It's rocking. I think I'm about to go up there. Some of that pizza. Yeah, at the Pizza House. Come on, man. Final thoughts, man.
I'm very pleased with the way Michigan handled the game. It was a little chippy at first. It was a couple things that like they always say, the first man always get caught. About that. You remember that receiver held that guy's legs, then he pulled his helmet off. But the second man always get caught. So at least he was smart about that. Those things like that. So, but by me going into the Big Ten championship, I think Michigan easily will win by 14 to 21 points. To Wisconsin or Minnesota, it don't even really matter because they really can't handle the power of football that Michigan has.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come on, Don. Final thoughts.
It's a huge win, man. The intensity of the game was huge. I mean, Harbaugh crossed off a couple of things that people have been hounding him about for years. So this is big for recruiting. Michigan, they got a great win today, but they got to finish it off. We keep talking, we all excited now, but if they go lose next week, we got to finish it off. So let's go blue. Let's do it. Like you said, I'm hyped. The game was hyped. I mean, the intensity those guys were playing with, they had me ready to suit up, you know what I'm saying? So it was a big win.
Big win.
Hey, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Auburn, 7, Alabama, 0.
Wisconsin just tied it up too.
Damn.
So hey, we'll see what it is. Let's get back together this week, man. We'll preview the Big Ten championship. We want to thank you guys for joining us on the Blueprint. This your man, Michigan Man Ray. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Coach Bam. This has been good. Hey, Michigan did it, man. I'm gonna celebrate and enjoy this one tonight too, because the way they did it is just, just as impressive as them getting the W. I mean, they just dominated.
Took their manhood.
Took their manhood. We punked them.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Thank you guys again.
All right.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. All right.